If you can drink a glass of milk right now and feel completely fine, you are, biologically speaking, a mutant. Not an insult, a fact. Most humans who have ever lived couldn't do what you just did without serious stomach pain. Here's the default setting for every mammal on Earth, humans included. You're born able to digest milk because milk is baby food. Your gut produces an enzyme called lactase to break it down. But once you're weaned, that enzyme is supposed to shut off permanently. For most of human history and for most humans alive today, it still does exactly that. No milk after childhood, no exceptions. Then, around 10,500 years ago, people in the Fertile Crescent started keeping cattle. Milk stopped being baby food, it became something new entirely, a year-round supply of fat, protein, and calories, sitting right there, available even when crops failed or a hard winter hit. For most adults, drinking it still meant the same old bloating, cramping, and diarrhea. But for anyone whose lactase gene happened to stay switched on into adulthood, that entire food source suddenly belonged to them and to no one else. In 2009, geneticist Yuval Eaton and his colleagues modeled exactly when this mutation took off in Europe. Their study, published in PLOS Computational Biology, traced the shift back to a single genetic switch sitting near the lactase gene. Their estimate, this mutation first came under strong selection about 7,500 years ago. The location, somewhere between the Central Balkans and Central Europe. The timing lines up almost exactly with the spread of early farming cultures moving in from the east. Here's where it gets strange. Selection started 7,500 years ago, but the mutation stayed rare for thousands of years afterward. Take Ötzi, the famous mummy found frozen solid in the Alps, dead for 5,300 years. Scientists have fully sequenced his DNA. He didn't carry the mutation. Even 2,000 years after dairy farmers first arrived in Europe, one of history's most famous ancient Europeans still couldn't digest milk as an adult. If you had handed him a glass, his gut would have reacted exactly like most of the world's does today. In 2020, a team led by Joachim Berger tested ancient DNA from 400 more skeletons. They spanned the Neolithic all the way through the Bronze Age, thousands of years of continuous dairy farming across Europe. Their finding, published in Current Biology, was even sharper than expected. The mutation stayed rare deep into the Bronze Age, long after cattle herding was already everywhere. The real explosion in frequency happened within just the last 3,000 years. That's not a slow evolutionary drift, that's closer to a genetic sprint, and by some measures, one of the strongest signals of recent natural selection found anywhere in the human genome. And it gets stranger still. Europe wasn't the only place this happened. In 2007, geneticist Sarah Tishkov studied cattle herding populations across Tanzania, Kenya, and Sudan. She found lactase persistence there too, but it was powered by 3 completely different mutations, and none of them matched the European version at all. Different continents, different letters in different spots on the gene, same outcome, arriving on roughly the same rough timeline. Evolution had independently discovered the exact same trick at least 4 separate times wherever humans happened to build their lives around a cow. Today, roughly 65% of adults on Earth still can't fully digest lactose. The ability to drink milk as an adult isn't the human default. It's a regional glitch that got extremely lucky, concentrated heavily in Northern Europe and a handful of African and Middle Eastern herding cultures, and largely absent everywhere else. So the next time you pour a glass of milk without a second thought, remember what that ease actually represents. It's not universal biology, it's the fingerprint of a specific group of ancient farmers keeping cows alive through hard winters, whose gut mutation happened to let them survive on something almost nobody else on the planet could stomach. Your DNA is still carrying their winning lottery ticket several thousand years and several thousand generations later.